Hi, I'm Kayce Cover. I'm your host at Training with Kayce. Today, I'd like to talk about the importance of managing our own mindset. So, perception modification is all about teaching animals how to cope with stress and manage their emotions. And we teach them all kinds of tools to do this, and then we motivate them. It's amazing what motivates them. But here's the thing, it's not all their problem. Sometimes it's because of us, or we at least contribute to it. And it can be in many different ways. It can be from an attitude we have. If we see a dog coming and we don't want to see that dog coming, for example, the dog is off lead, it shouldn't be off lead. And now it's going to come over here and talk to us and bother my dog. And so I get a little resentful. You think the dog doesn't pick up on that? Of course he does. The molecules of emotion are extruded through our skin and through our lungs in the air we breathe out. That goes right into your dog. Your dog not only can read your frustration, your resentment, whatever, but biochemically they're dosed with it. It is considered contagious. Frequently, I get calls or messages from professional trainers who say, "You won't believe it, I had to use the easy on myself today." Of course we do. Of course we do. It's our job to lead the animals forward in their ability to manage their stress, to cope with stress and manage their emotions. You think we get to just ignore that? We need to be expert at it. I want to tell you a strange, interesting, wonderful side effect. And that is the more you teach yourself to be this way. In a minute, I'll tell you what this way is. The more you do that, the more even your being is in this world. I don't really know a better way to describe this. But anyway, here's the deal. I live on 2 acres. We do everything organically here. We not only grow our own food, we have a lot of permaculture, and we put together brush piles and windrows and hugel beds. These are all habitats for various birds and everybody really. Rats, my gosh, we see a lot of rats running around out here. Snakes, the owls come and hunt all these rascals that are running around these beds. We see a lot of rat snakes. Now, rat snakes eat venomous snakes. So here's what happens to me. If I go across, well, this is a little strange, so I don't quite understand this. If I go across the street to my neighbor's house, we have irrigation ditches that run along the road, and all the frogs that are sitting around that irrigation ditch will jump in the water as soon as I approach. But at my house, where the animals know me, they don't move any place. As a matter of fact, if I want to turn on the hose and there's a frog on the faucet, I have to lift the frog up and move it. If I sit in my pool, a frog will jump down and sit on my shoulder. I have to move them off the step. I have to move lizards off the step. If I'm just, out talking to my horse, enjoying the sun, and there's a lizard around, like as not, he'll run right up on my hand. And I don't mind this at all. I love having the animals here and feeling like we're all part of a friendly community. In fact, this is blowing my mind, but the snakes will come out and I don't even know exactly how they do it, but they come out and they're kind of expectant and Dave feeds them water because in the summertime, they could use some help. There's just so many examples. Oh, this one will just blow your mind. We've got wrens that want to nest on the porches, which that's common. These wrens, you got to be so careful of them because seriously, you hang your clothes up on the line, the wrens will get in the pockets to stay warm, I guess. And we folded a blanket and had it in the laundry room, and the wrens would, we left the window open just a little, and they would fly in through this little slit and get in between the blankets to sleep in the wintertime. It's amazing. Anyway, had a really nice young lady here assisting me with something, and she got quite a bit of video of a wren resting on her shoe while she was wearing it. The wren came up and got on the step and sat there and looked at her, and after a minute, hopped right onto her foot. So it matters. If you think that you're invisible, you're not. You're not. And I know I read the energy of other people as well as other animals. And the animals read us. Now, here's the thing. When the animals learn these skills, one of the things we see is better lives and longer health spans. My horse, Sera, who is just so amazing, is now 34 and 7 months old. And yesterday, I saw Dave tell her, we're going to go over, and he named the place where they were walking to graze. And Sera goes like this and just trots immediately over there, showing she knew exactly what he was telling her. I love that. I love that our animals are part of the conversation. We tell them what's going on, what we need to do, why we need to do it, and wherever possible, we give them choices. And they love being to make a lot of choices and to indicate what they want. For example, when Dave is working out with the horses today, Sera came over and just starts nuzzling his neck. I mean, it is Valentine's Day, right? And she wanted to go out in the back. She's telling Dave, would you look at me? Would you see what I'm trying to tell you? And then she'll lead him right to the gate so that he can let her out. So that's a second part of it. The first part is three parts. The first part is we teach the animals how to relax themselves. And then we teach them how to apply those skills to solve other problems so that they can have fantastic lives and stay as healthy as possible. Remember, they're telling us that cancer is the leading cause of death for dogs these days, and cancer risk increases with stress. So we need to teach our dogs to manage stress. Well, the dog doesn't want us to have cancer either. We need to manage stress directly. Then we need to keep going and teach our animals in such a way that we're not violating them, but instead we're collaborating with them to create all kinds of useful and interesting behavior which we enjoy together and which incorporates the animal in the entire process. For example, when I tell Sera what we need to do, when Dave told Sera where they were walking, Sera trots to that place. When I tell Sera what I need to do, she will do her best to try to help me do it. For example, I was learning to do emergency dismounts, and I was working with a dear friend who knew a lot about horses. And I was supposed to sit on Sera's back. And when my friend called out for me to dismount, I had to jump off the back of the horse. I'm learning how to do that without, breaking a leg or whatever. So you kind of tuck and roll kind of thing. Sera was like, "Why'd you fall off?" She came over and she looks at me like, "What's wrong with you?" I didn't do anything to dump you off my back. Not only did she not, it wasn't Sera's fault at all. I was trying to learn how to get off a horse safely. Like if you have to do an emergency dismount, I guess that's where it got the name. But I tried to explain it to Sera that I get back up on her back and we're trotting around. And my friend calls out to dismount. And feel Sera hitch her hip to make it harder for me to fall off because she knows I'm going to fall off to the outside of the circle usually. I fell off anyway, and she comes running up. "You've got to do your part, Kayce, also." I mean, Sera is so expressive and she's so expressive. And if you think she's not cheeky, you don't know her yet. Anyway, Sera's one that will often, while we're working, I'll say, "All right, let's go to the camera." And we're walking toward the camera, doing whatever we're doing. "All right, now let's do it again." And I start to walk away. And as Sera passes the camera, she goes, "Do you see what I have to work with here?" Anyway, she's a trip. All right, come join me at this puppy prep webinar. You're going to learn 3 simple tools that you can apply immediately that require no training skill, just mindfulness, and you'll meet some other neat people. I like informal gatherings. So, if we have a reasonable size, we'll do some chatting. So just come comfortable and you can bring everybody in your family. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later on. Take care.